And we're going to let Lila run the show. Take it away,
Okay.
Lila.
So I'm happy you joined me in this workshop. This is from paper to pixels. I'm a digital artist and also I'm a painter. So because you can start like create a piece of art and then you can create animation or you can create a graphic design. With just adjusting colors, you can create another piece of art. And also with a few clicks, you can start to drawing, you know, and your tablet or in your software or in your computer. It's helpful. When I found this, I said, wow, I never imagined this beautiful piece is created in this 1967 in a computer. And that's the way I started, and I'm going to tell you many of those things. So let's talk about Wacom. Wacom is a brand of tablets. Is created, it's one of the first one, and it's one of the most expensive tablets. Practically, it's just a simple tablet and come out with a pen. And the X Pen has different prices too. It depends, you know, they come out with different series and pro and things. So what is those tablets are? Practically, those tablets come out like a big size. And the good things about those tablets is the resolution you have it in those tablets. Two, you actually need the tablet to connect it to your computer because those tablets doesn't include any software. And what I don't like about it is because I want something for me is easy. I want something like I can carry to my studio. Let's talk about the iPad Pro with the pencil. Those pens are for like a $20. And a glove for drawing. I don't have any issue with this. Sometimes you gotta thinking like what those big brands doing is you want to be integrated completely with them. So actually it's connecting with Bluetooth. So I don't need to connect cables, graphic design or in illustrations or whatever you want to create like a digital art. And now I understand why, because for them it's attracting more customers to not just use Adobe Fresco, but also use Photoshop and Illustrator and use the cloud for Adobe and all those things. So for them, it's easy to give you the people free this app. Adobe Fresco is working in Windows, is working in Android, is working in the iPad and Apple. And the good things about is they have so many brushes. It's like when you're drawing a circle or when you're drawing a square or when you're drawing like a line, you don't have the precise to drawing like perfectly. So Vector, if you're drawing a line and it's have a curve, they are adjusting like a line, a perfect line. The same with circles, the same with squares, whatever you want to drawing, like graphic things, you know, they give you circles, they give you squares, they give you rhombus, they give you triangles, and they give you lines. So it's like you work in real life. It's like you work in different papers and you put one paper at the top of the other, like you work in collage, let's say in that way. Digital work in Photoshop, and you can keep manipulate the painting, but Photoshop, you gotta pay. And Adobe give you the way like you start like a easy and you go pro because you're gonna explore a lot of tools they have it to are in Adobe. I think so it's very friendly user when you start be familiar with all those tools. This is the brushes we're gonna use in Adobe Fresco. So if you want to take a note, or if you want to make a screenshot, or if you want to download the software, you can download it and later. And here's the tools or the, let me just do it first this. I guess like at first I gotta do this. That can be fine, but my recommendation is like when you start painting, I recommend you use or you can print it, but it's not gonna come out the same resolution because 300 ppi is the pixels work in different prints. When you work, they're actually telling you, they give you 2100 for 2100, they give you different sizes. And also you have social media if you want to create some kind of post in social media. So I always prefer to do it in print because I'm an artist and sometimes I like to print my work in centimeters or millimeters. I always have in pixels because that's what I want to do it. to actually move. I use the 3 fingers right now. I don't know if you can see my my face, but right now what I use is 3 fingers. So 2 fingers is for delete it. When you tap twice, they say undo. I don't have nothing. So let's say I drawing something. So that is the way you manipulate. What you see here is actually a tool you're moving around, and it's for deleting things. For in this moment, I don't going to recommend you be familiar with this because it can be confusing right now. So I want to give you the more basic things. So that is what I say is amazing about like Adobe now is free. You don't need to buy any brushes. Sometimes, you know, you see on Instagram or you see in TikTok or whatever, you see like the people selling brushes. And what I was telling you is like, if you actually do a circle like this and you close it, they come out perfect. You know, just drawing and hold the pen for like a couple seconds and they come out like a perfect line. I think so you tap it. I never use those things. You pick a color and then you tap it, and this is like a tool helping you to pick a color in your drawing. I told you this is infinity layer. You can use so many layers you want. Snapping tools, symmetric tools with, I don't know, big fans to use those things more. So I'm gonna pick and pixel brushes, and you're gonna pick a little bigger because we're gonna accelerate this process. You gotta believe in the process and you gotta believe in you and your knowledge. So in this second layer, you're gonna change for another brush, and let's go to dry media. In dry media, you're gonna pick the soft roll pastel, this one. When you actually pick this one, you want to change the color. If you see it, when you go in the color palette, they're actually adding the color you was using before, which actually is helpful. Let's pick better like the watercolor because that's gonna create. And if you see, they give you the sensation like you actually work in watercolor. So here is, and we're gonna pick dark color. So you playing with the colors, you playing with the textures. So you want the orange, you know, and we're gonna go to the soft chalk, which is this one. So, and the last one I'm gonna use is called Pole. Put in my favorite, this one. So we have this part, we're gonna open another layer. And we're gonna do, and what we're gonna do is start like doing the part, like the orange. And I should be painting, at the same time I painting the outside of the orange, I should be painting inside of the orange too, but let's see how this thing's gonna work right now. Because for watercolor, when the mask is not clipped, it start to come out to the painting as you see it. Let me undo this with my 2 fingers. And with this painting, we're gonna do upside to the orange too, so you're gonna see.
No, this is great. Perhaps just about resolution, maybe we could go back to that afterwards.
So let's put this, and we're gonna delete this. Let me change this for this. I'm not in the correct layer. So if you see what is in blue here is what I'm working, and the layer are working. For delete this part of the orange and make the orange more, you know, delete that bottom part will come out like a not perfect. I gotta tap it in the layer I was working at the beginning. So you see now that layer is activated. So that's the good things when you work in layers. More layers you have is the ability to change, you know. Doesn't work right now, but they should be deleted. You should be deleted. For example, if I go here, I had the eraser on. So if I delete it here, if you see it, start deleting. Let's delete this part here. And orange are not totally round. They have some parts, right? And let's change for like a little small. And let's do like this, like this. Don't pay attention to the details because we're gonna come back to do details. Of course, if you had the time, you can make these things hyper realistic. So we're adding another layer, and this one we're gonna clip it with that symbol is the square with the line here, this one. You have it here, but they just gonna focus in the leaf, inside to the leaf. Let's go back, exactly. That's what you gotta understand why you need. Let's do the scratchy painting and let's do this. If you had a patient, if you actually love digital art, you can create amazing work. So let's create another layer, and this one, we're not gonna clip it because we don't wanna paint it inside to anything. So we're gonna pick a color, and let me see. I have it here. At the top of the bucket is this kind of like a cat, and then you have this cross. So you go with this frame here. At the top of the color palette, you have the color palette, you have the frame here. And I told you when you download the package, I send it to you, you're gonna find file. So I have 3 different files. I send it to you, one of the biggest, free textures. And you press the texture and they're gonna send you to another link and you go to download those things. And they're gonna come out in a file, in a zip file, they call zip. So let's pick one of these textures. You can pick whatever you want, like, you know, all this you have it in the package, you already buy it for this. Let's pick this, they call canvas. Go here, go file, and I'm gonna pick whatever I want. I can give you 2 demonstrations so you can see it. So let's pick this one. You see it, this one? So let's just pick it and come out like that. So we come
Okay.
back to the same screen, like you actually can adjust it. So what you do is just adjusting to the side to your canvas. Process is put down, and then you're going down here and see how maybe come out something interesting. It depends of how much resolution you want in that kind of texture, you see? So yeah, that is practically, you have more tools here, you can use it, but I don't want to overwhelm and you make me, you're probably gonna feel so frustrated because it's so much tools you don't know how to handle. And oh my God, but basically I'm going to give you a recap. So you have, and you can go to the eraser and you can, because you actually, in that layer, just you painting that shadow, you can delete this easily. So I added another one, and again, and another one, and again, and I already have 6 here. But when you, for example, when you finish the painting and you want to say, okay, I finished my orange and I want some kind of leaf come out to the top, and another one here, and another one here, and another one here. What do you see in purple is they call onion. And the 6, you don't see actually nothing of the purple. Why? Because it's an onion scheme. They call like an onion scheme to give you a reference. Where is the last loop, but you change the number of the frames. Let's say you want just 3 frames. So this is an introduction about like Adobe Fresco. Adobe doesn't pay me. Most, you see, at the beginning, they're telling you this, but I say, no, I just skip that. And you have practically the same. You can explore it in this one, but I highly recommend. I also have Procreate.
It's also pixel to paper, not just paper to pixel. Look at that.
You said 300 PPI, and that's kind of my goal when I'm doing things. I haven't done, but I've been doing digital collage, and I've largely been using the Adobe.
I can connecting. Maybe you can find it in documents. Let me just, maybe here in documents. Or, let me see. It has to be in some kind of this. Let's say if you pick document and you see. Okay, I don't work in this app at all, but has to be the way like you actually need to change. That is a tough question because I actually asking many people when I go to the print shop and I ask and how I can convert that. And they say, always they say you gotta do at the beginning of when you start drawing because it's, to convert, you actually need to do like a mathematic things like how many pixels are in a PPI, you know, it's like that. You gotta calculate it in mathematic things. I'm sure I can find them for you and I can telling you exactly where you can find, you know, or how, if this thing's actually helping you or had that kind of resolution. This software is free, but look how many tools you actually have it. It's amazing. You can find things are free, you know, and but you need to spend the time to understand the software and actually make these things work. But yeah,
Yes.
for Krita, you actually need the tablet. I also have another one because I like digital a lot.
Found that it works quite well, and I just kind of slowly learnt how to do the layering and things like that. Yes, yes, I like it very much. It makes a lot of sense. You explained it so well.
I already picked my favorite brushes, and if you see, I don't have many. I just have
Right, yes.
now like a 20 or 10. Why?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need textures. So that is the good things. Like I give you that information in the links, like where you can find those texture for free, and just download it. It's gonna come out just right there. Where is the picture frame?
No, actually I've got all my notes here, but that was the only